Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today is day 9 of my journey to learn Japanese. And this series of live streams, it's all about showing my journey going from a complete beginner to hopefully one day much more than just that. And previously, I've learned how to read and write, or how to read hiragana and katakana, and then also studied about 100 or so words of basic Japanese vocabulary. Now, today I'm going to go back to hiragana, but I'm going to practice actually writing the characters, which in my opinion is quite a bit harder than just reading them. And so with that said, let's make a start. So I'm here on the Lingo Command website. If we go and press start now, and we go to writing systems, and we go to Japanese writing systems practice, basic hiragana, we get this table here showing the 46 basic hiragana characters. In fact, if I just open a new tab and we go to the writing systems theory on hiragana, we can see this table here. We can see that the 46 basic characters follow this these clusters of 5. So here we've got the 5 vowels, a, I, u, e, o. And then for every consonant, so consonant, for example, is k, s, t, n, etc. Those consonants also come in clusters of 5 in the hiragana writing system, with the vowel at the end. So it's ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, sa, shi, su, se, so, na, ni, nu, ne, no. And of course, there's some exceptions, right? For example, here you saw that it's not sa, si, su, se, so, it's shi. And for example, here it's ha, hi, fu, he, ho. So this fu here is the exception, but by and large, it's following this pattern of a consonant and then 5 different vowel endings. So that's just a little quick refresher on how hiragana works in Japanese. But what we can do here when we look at this basic hiragana exercise is in this table, we press here for the pronunciation.
A, I, U,
And then if we want to know how this character is written, we can press here on the actual character.
A, A,
And as you can see here, we get an actual video showing us the correct stroke order in which to write this character. Now you might be thinking, what's a stroke order? Well, in Japanese, they're actually quite particular about the way in which you write the character. So for example, here, it is actually incorrect to start with this kind of curl pattern at the bottom and then do the vertical dash and then the horizontal dash. No, instead you start with the horizontal dash going from left to right, then the vertical dash from the top to the bottom, and then this last character starting at 3 to finish off the character. So if we watch the video again with that in mind,
A,
we start here, go here, and then write this one.
A.
Now you might be wondering, surely the difference is, like as long as the character looks the same, what does it really matter? And perhaps that might be the case. However, what I kind of wanted to point out here, sorry, I'm just fixing the camera, is when we're writing hiragana characters, the stroke order actually makes us more efficient. And apparently, like Japanese native speakers can also, like, let's say that you're writing a letter, they can actually see if you've been using the incorrect stroke order, and it just looks sloppy. And finally, I think when you're learning a new language, it's very important to do as the natives do. And so if they insist on this correct stroke order, then we should do the same. And so I'm the founder behind lingocommand.com. And basically, I just added a new feature where if you swap languages here, basically, we now get this quiz with these, like the Romaji interpretation of these hiragana characters. So a, I, u, e, o. And then if you want to practice writing the answers, you can press here, handwrite your answers. And then when you press over here on this, like enter your answer here, we now get a place where we can actually draw our answer. Now, this is basically a feature I've been adding today. And there are a couple of things to point out here. So firstly, you can use a mouse or a touchpad. However, if you're going to be writing, it's a bit more preferable if you've got a stylus like a Wacom tablet or something like that. But if you don't, no worries at all. And of course, we also have the accompanying mobile app. And so, or if you use your phone or you use like a tablet of some type, that will make writing it a little bit easier because where you touch on your phone is where you'll be writing. But just experiment with that. But basically now, I can just draw here whatever I like, and we can press undo to remove the previous stroke. If we have multiple strokes here as well, we can clear it. And then finally, as you can see here, this is keeping track of the number of strokes. And that's more for just for your own benefit. Because for example, in the video we saw earlier, the hiragana character for a has 3 strokes. And of course, this is a quiz. But if you just want to actually practice like writing while looking at the character, you can show the answer here and, practice drawing that. And then you can hide the answer as well. So, for example, I was just looking at the answer. If I now press submit, one thing that I'll have to do is basically say, did my drawing of the hiragana character match what's over here? Now, suppose I press yes. That's nice and all, I get the answer right. But obviously, let's keep in mind that I was actually showing the answer while submitting this for a quiz, so that's kind of cheating. So what you have to do is you have to keep yourself kind of accountable, be honest about what you're doing. Another thing is, so let's say that we write this character again and I do it like this. If I now submit this, one day in the future, I'm going to basically not ask your opinion on whether this character is correct, but it will use some type of image recognition software or something in order to actually see how accurately this matches. But for now, you kind of just have to say, does this match, yes or no? And then you will get a grade based on that. So it's important to kind of be honest about how similar this is. And for those of you that have just joined, currently I'm basically looking at a quiz for writing basic hiragana characters on the Lingo Command website. And what we can do is if you press this checkbox, handwrite your answers, and then you press over here, we can then basically we get this box in which we can draw. And so I'm practicing how to write hiragana characters. I can already read them. And so I think if I were to do this, I can submit. And then this is the part where you have to be honest. You just have to like basically see, does this look about right? And I think, for example, this stroke, it's supposed to kind of, this dash is going below this curl. So you could potentially argue that that's not quite right, but I think that's close enough. We'll give it a pass. For this one, if I recall correctly, I think this character looks something like this. I think this stroke here is a bit sharper. So let's close this and try again. I think that's a bit more accurate. Great. Okay, let's try this one. I would say we have this dash here. I think it looks something like this. So let's submit. Now, this is correct for the most part. I'm quite happy with that second stroke. But the first stroke, it's too long. And I'm going to say that doesn't match. I'm going to redo it. I would say something like undo that last stroke. This top stroke is actually a lot more horizontal than I thought. Let's try that one more time. I think that's pretty good. Fantastic. Let's move on to the next one. This one has basically a dash and then you get a Z. And I would say that's pretty good. Let's try and draw that just slightly more neat. Yeah, I think that matches very well. Let's do these one more time. So this is the first dash, second, and then third. I think that's pretty good. For this one, this is how you write eat. Let's submit that and give it a look. I'd say that's pretty accurate. And then for all, oh, I know how to recognize it, but I think it's something like this. Oh, I remember that quite well, actually. That curl at the bottom can be a bit better, so let's redo that. So we have this. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Now there's one feature that I'm not quite happy with. So for instance, if I write the hiragana character and let's say I make a mess of it, it's like this. I submit. My question is, should the user be allowed to redraw? Should they be allowed to redraw it? I feel like when you press submit, at that point you can't redo the question, right? You submitted your final answer, and so at that point it is what it is. Yeah, you can't just look at the answer and then so I think for now actually the way that this is designed is good enough. So let's try this again. So this is, let's clear this, do that a little bit more neatly. This is the first character, second, third. Let's say that's pretty good. The second. This is the third. And then here we've got the Z with like a dash on top. Fine. And then here, this is the first, the second. This curls kind of up, and then we've got this dash here. Let's try that a bit more neatly, that dash. I'd say that's pretty good. So I haven't actually done this one before. Is it something like this? Clearly doesn't match. Let's try that again. Now that's a lot better, isn't it? I think this is a tad too sharp. Let's just do that one more time. So I think it actually looks worse. So this here is actually a bit larger, this curl at the bottom. All right, one more time. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. maybe this is a bit too much. Let's try that one more time. I'm quite happy with that. I'll take that. Now this one, something like this. Let me clear that and try again. 1, 2, 3. That's actually not bad. Now, there are two ways to write this character, right? This is how it's usually written on computers, but if it's handwritten, they tend to, this bottom curl is separated into 2 strokes. However, these tend to go from bottom left to top right, whilst I've got them from top left to bottom right. So let's redo that. I'll take that. This one is very simple from what I remember. Boom, just like that. And then this one, oh, something like this. Wow. Is it good enough? No, not quite, but it's closer than I thought. So than I was expecting it to be. So I think it's a bit more like this. Kind of like a T looking shape. Take that. Now this one, looks like this. I'll take that. And that looks pretty good. So when handwritten, this bottom curl also is split up into 2 strokes. Take that. This one is very simple. I think it looks something like this. Now we could argue that this is vertical whilst mine is a bit diagonal. Let's just do it one more time. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So what I'm doing here is I'm quizzing myself on how to actually write hiragana. I've already learned how to read them. And what we can do here is basically if we, on this quiz, select handwrite your answers, and then we press here, we get this little pop-up, and in this box we can then draw our answer. So for example, Sue, I think it looks something like this. And I can then submit my answer and see that I was close, but it's actually inverted. So this curl here goes this way, not that way. So we can close this and try again. So this is the first stroke, and then this is the second. And I would say that looks similar enough. So we can say that the drawing matches, and then move on to the next one. So se, I've got no idea. Something like this. Let's submit and see. Okay, so that's completely incorrect. So the first stroke would be from left to right here. Then you've got this shape, and then the next one. Let's try that one more time. This is 1. Wait, let's undo. This is 1, 2, 3. I would say that's pretty accurate. I think maybe there's a tad too much space here. And it's too long. So let's do it just one more time. I think it's important to try and have like at least a little bit like neat handwriting. Okay, how about that? Still not quite right. If we zoom in, this is kind of pointing upwards, whilst this is straight down. One more time. 1, 2, wait, let's try again. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna say that's good enough. Let's try the next one. So I have no idea. Now, one thing you can do is you can actually show the answer here if you just want to practice writing it. Okay, so this is one stroke, and you write it like this. Now, if you're wondering what actually is the stroke order, you can open a different tab, and this is basically the same as what we have over here, but this is in the quiz setting. This is the study table, right? So this is study, this is quiz. So if we now go to Sol, you see that this is a hyperlink. So if you press on it, you actually get a video. Let's take a look.
So,
And this video is showing you the correct way to write this character. Now, you might think like, oh, obviously just look and that's it. But this has one stroke, so it's perhaps not the best example. But for example, let's take a look here. So O consists of 3 strokes. Let's make that full screen. This is the first one. This is the second one. That's the third one. For the first, the way I made these diagrams, right, is you start where the number is and then you just go in the opposite direction, right? So here's the one. So we go like this. You do them in numerical order. Second one, you start here and then you just follow you trace out the shape. Here's the third one. And of course, you could just do this one and then this, like in a different order, like 3, 1, 2. But the problem with that is that the Japanese insist on having the correct stroke order. Apparently, it makes your handwriting neater, speeds up how fast you write the characters, and some people can actually just tell the difference. They say they can actually see that it wasn't written in the correct stroke order. So I think it's very important to try and do it, the way that native Japanese people do it. So with that said, why don't we try this again? So that's not bad. Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's look at the answer quickly. Yeah, there's kind of like a middle line here. The only thing is, if we zoom in a bit, this line seems to join the middle part around here, and then the same with this. So let's clear this. I think it's actually something a bit more like that. I can try and write that a bit more neatly. One more time. 1, 2, 3, like this. I don't think that's bad, actually. I think this middle dash is a bit too long at the moment. Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, 3. It's pretty good. There's too much space here. One final time. 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm just counting. This is one big stroke, so I actually don't know. I was going like 1, 2, 3, 4, but I think that's good enough. We'll take that. Then ta. What is ta? No idea. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Clear again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still not quite right. This, it's more like this type of shape, isn't it? So let's clear everything. 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost. I think it should be like this type of shape. And then this is actually more horizontal, pointing upwards slightly. So let's clear that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe on the curvature slightly like this. This is a bit too much. This part, it should be a little bit shorter. One final time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the bottom of this is equal to the bottom of that, whilst I've got this missing bit of space. Still not quite right. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to accept that. Still not quite good enough in my opinion. Let's move on to the next one though. This one, I think it looks a bit like a 5 from what I remember. It's 1, 2, 3. And this could be one big stroke if you're typing, or there are different ways to write this, right? Not all handwriting is the same, but I think this is the common accepted way to write it. Let's submit. Yeah, here you can see what I'm talking about. When it's typed, it's one big stroke. But I'm gonna accept that. That's good enough. 2. Oof. Tricky. What does that look like? Let's see. Oh, it's just like an inverted C. It's like U without that bottom part, that top part. So if we clear all and try again. Yeah, I'd say that's good enough. And then te, it's also a very simple shape, but what was it again? Oh, completely wrong there. Okay. It's this. But that's not quite right either. So that's more like it. This here goes almost all the way to the right here. And it doesn't curve upwards. So let's try that one more time. Let's clear that again. 1, 2, there we go. I would say that's pretty good. To. So I think in katakana it's something like this, but what is it in hiragana? Ah, this one, of course. Okay, let's try that. 1, 2. Okay, not bad. What about na? Oh, it's a lot going on here. Okay. And this one, is it something like this? Okay, so that first stroke was correct, but then this is, the second stroke is horizontal, so is the third, but it has a bit of a curl here. Let's try that again. So it's 1, 2, 3. Take that. Then nu, what is that? Oh boy, that looks kind of complicated. I think that will pass more or less. 1. Oof, this one's tricky. I want to see actually what the stroke order of that one is. So what we can do is we can go to writing systems, basic hiragana, go down to net, and watch that.
ね、
Oh, I see. I see. So what you do is you start with this, and then you do that part. Let's clean that up and try that again. So it's 1, 2. This is very messy. This doesn't look good. Let's try again. 1, 2. One, 2. I'd say that is just about good enough. Oh, this one's quite simple. Boom. Job done. Ha. What is ha? Oh, I see. So I remember this would be ho if you have 2 dashes. But anyways, that's good enough for now. He is this shape. But let's try and do that a little bit neater. So I think it's something like that. I'd say that's pretty good. About fu. 1, 2, 3.
fu,
It's actually you
fu,
start in the middle and then you do left and right. So if we clear that, 1, 2, 3, 4. Take that. This one's very simple. It's this. And then whole. Oh, silly. Yeah, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. But this is not quite right. It's actually like this. So let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. Let's clear it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll take that. I think that's pretty decent. Jesus, alphabet is long. 1, 2, 3. No. Let's try it again. 1, 2. I was close already, but I think it's the shape here is a bit gentler. Should point down a bit more. Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, 3. Great. Me. Oh, I see. So it's 1, 2. This second stroke is not quite right. Let's do that one more time. So that's a lot more like it. But then again, this also actually goes down here on the right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that one final time. 1, 2. Sorry, that's one stroke. And then boom, like this. This stroke's a bit more curved. One final time. Great. We'll take that. Now the question is, what is mu? Mu. Let's see what the stroke order for that is. That one looks a bit confusing.
mu, mu,
Okay, so the circle's almost inside the line. That doesn't really make a lot of sense, but let's just I'll show you what I mean. So it's almost like this. It's not bad, but this should be longer and this dash is too long and too vertical. So let's try that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just counting nonsensically. This is one stroke, this is the second stroke, and that's the third. I would say that's pretty acceptable for now. What is me? Me is... Well, it's very similar to a shape we've already seen. Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, 3. Take that one. Mo is like a T with 2 dashes. But this curls up more. So let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. Good enough. What is ya? Okay. I think you start with this one, then go like that, and then this. Is that right? This goes in a bit more. And let's just quickly go here and look at the correct stroke order. So ya is...
や、
Oh, that one comes first, second,
や、
third. Confusing. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3. Interesting. This is... it kind of looks like a fish to me. I think it's something like... something like that? Okay, the fish is pointing in the opposite direction. So if we clear everything, I think it's something like this. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So it's 1, 2. Now what is yo? Let's see. 1, 2. But this bottom stroke looks more like this. Let's try that again. 1, 2. Say that looks pretty good. However, let's just quickly check the stroke order.
よ、
I knew something wasn't quite right. What I was doing when I was writing yo was I was doing this. But in fact, you start in the middle and go out to the right, and then you do this. Okay. In any case, we're now looking at the ra. What could the stroke order for that be? 1, 2. Let's clear and try that again. 1, 2. Great. And then ri. So, ri, hiragana, handwritten. Because you might be wondering, like, why am I writing it in a different way? If we look at this table here, we can see that ri, when it's handwritten, it's usually written like this. So when you're typing, it's like a font, right? For example, in English, you can write A like this, and you can write it like that. I think it's something similar going on here. But in any case, this looks like that, I think. But this should have a little bit of a curve to it. Let's try that one more time. So 1, 2. And I'll probably need to show the alternative writing, right? So maybe I could do the most common handwritten form here, and then here show how it's usually written on when you're typing. But we'll take that for now and move on. So that's a feature that I might add in the future. Let's see what ru is. Ru is kind of looks like a Z, but then it's got this thing at the bottom. Let's try and do that a little bit more neatly. 1, 2. That could be a bit smoother. Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, 3. Take that. It's pretty good. Re. What could that be? There's a lot going on here. I think it's something like that. Regarding the stroke order, right? So it's 1, 2, 3. The shape doesn't look quite right. There's too much here. 1, 2. So this almost goes to the bottom there. And this intersection point is way too high. You can see here it's about the middle. And what I'm just doing here is I'm practicing writing hiragana. I already in a previous video practiced how to learn reading them. And so on the Lingo Command website, what we can do here is for this quiz, so we've got all the 46 hiragana characters here, we can then press on one of these and we get this little box in which we can draw. And so now I can practice writing this character. So the first stroke is this. Then I think it was something like this. And let's see if we show the answer. Let's see how accurate that is. Yeah, so the top part of this stroke matches what's over here. So let's try that one more time. This is 1, 2, 3. This shape here is not quite right. Let's clear this and try one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's clean it again. 1, 2, 3. I think that's just about acceptable for now.
で、で、
I think what I'm getting wrong here is that this is actually a lot wider than I think it is. Let's try that one more time. So it's 1, 2, 3. Let's clear it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's pretty close. So we can say that drawing matches. And for those of you that have just joined, I'm currently on the Lingo Command website practicing how to write hiragana. When you select handwrite your answers, you can then go here. And when you press here, you get this little pop-up in which you can practice writing the character. Now, I already know how to read them, so I'm just practicing on the writing part, which in my opinion is a bit trickier. Now, what is roll? Okay, so it's this type of shape. We can clear this and try again. So something like this. And then if we submit, I would say those two characters, I think that's pretty accurate. I think I might actually remember how to write va. Something like this. Now, is the drawing perfect? No, but that's pretty accurate. 1, 2, 3. Let's just see what the stroke order is.
わ、わ、わ、
So there's a bit of a pattern with these hiragana characters, right? Because sometimes you've got this vertical stroke here, and then you do this kind of zigzag shape, and then do something here on the right. So we'll take that. Oh, this one is, it's a lot going on here. So I think it's 1, 2, 3. So let's clean this up. For those of you who've just joined, I'm basically practicing how to write hiragana. I'm already familiar with how to read them. And so I'm here on the Lingo Command website. And when you select this option, handwrite your answers, you can then go here. And when you press over here, you get this modal that shows you this box where you can write. And so if I practice this now, This is the first stroke. This is the second, and then this is the third. I actually think that's... Could it be better? Yes, but it's more or less the right thing. And we can go to this tab here. This is essentially the same thing, but in the quiz, or sorry, study mode. So currently we're in study. This is quiz. So if we go back to study here, if you actually want to see what the correct stroke order is for this character, we can
5、
just press here and see this video.
5、5、
And so we start with the horizontal dash. Okay. Good to know. The character N, I think it looks... Oh, let's clean that up. I think it looks like this, but it's a bit more slanted. Okay, close, but not quite right. So this first part here is fine, but the peak of this curve is also too high. It should reach the midpoint. Okay, let's try that again. This is a bit over the top, but you can almost kind of imagine, once you've got this, that there's this line here in the middle, and then from here you just make this shape. Kind of like a sinusoidal function. So if we clear this, this should be about right. Yeah, I would say that's a pretty close match. Now it would be nonsensical to save this quiz result because I was redoing everything. This was just me actually like practicing the characters, but what we can do is, for example, let's do a quiz on animals, right? So if currently this quiz is doing English to Japanese, so it's expecting the output in Japanese. So this is tori, this is neko, this is niwa, tori, yushi, inu, etc. If I swap the columns and I select hiragana or katakana, we should be able to... Yeah, okay, so if we're going from English to Japanese, and we're doing hiragana to... our expected output is hiragana and katakana, we can then press here to handwrite our answers. So tori, so this part, I think it's like that. And then this is ri. So let's take a quick look. It's not bad. We can write this way more neatly, so let's do that carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this ri character, there are two ways to write it, right? This is when you type it, this is when you handwrite it usually. I'm gonna say that's close enough. Neko, let's write this here. So it's neko. So how do we write ne? So I think this is ko. Is ne something like this? Kind of. So okay, let's try that again. So this is 1. No, we start with this dash, and then it's something like this, and then we do ko. This shape is a bit too much. Let's try and do that more neatly. 1, 2, 3. We'll let that slide. This is ni wa tori. Also, it's not the easiest thing to write with a stylus, right? So, for example, if I just write English, ni wa tori. That's me trying to write neatly in English, and I can assure you, when I actually use pen and paper, it does look a lot tidier than this. So perhaps I should work on my ability to use the stylus. But for now, just so you understand, it's the hand-eye coordination. It's a bit worse using a stylus, but it allows us to practice kind of online, which is great. So chicken is niwatori. So ni was 1, 2, 3, something like this. This was ni, and then ba is 1, 2, like that. This is to, and this is ri. Wow, would you look at that? Is it good handwriting? No, but that is niwatori. Fantastic. Ushi. This is u, and this is shi. Take that. Dog is inu. E, a, I, u, a, I. E is this. And then nu. I have no idea what nu is. Oh, wow. Alright, let's try that again. This is I, and then this is nu. Yeah? This is sunaka. So su is this. And then na is no idea, but ka is this. So what is na? What is na? Oh, sunaka is back. Sakana is fish. And na is this. And this is na. Okay, let's try that again. So this is sa. No, that's chi. I think this is sa. Oh, no, no, no. That is chi. This is sa. Sa. Ka. Na. Okay, this last stroke's a bit of a mess. We'll take that. Horse is uma. So 1, 2, and then what is ma? Oh yeah, it's this. Okay. Buta. Boo, boo, boo. Ah, okay. So here we need to know a little bit of dakuten. So H goes to B. So if you have ha, he, hu, he, ho. Now this H actually, sorry, this is fu, fu. So all of these, they go to B when you add a dakuten on top, right? So this is ba, bi, bu, be, bo. So if we clear all of that, this is the character for fu. That's dakuten, those 2 strokes on top. So fu becomes bu, and then we just need ta, ta, ta. No idea what that is. It's a bit like na. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll take that. Rabbit is usagi. Usagi. So the question is, how do you write that? So this is u. Sa. Ah, okay. So basically, first we have to write the hiragana character for ki. Undo. 1, 2, 3. And then, so this is ki, and then when you add the dakuten on top, ki becomes gi, so this is usagi, but, right, this writing is a mess. There's all of this space here, and then no here. So let's write that again. U. Sa. Okay. Sa. Gi. All right. And then this one is hitsuji. Hitsuji. But the question is, what is the character for he? Because tsu, I think, is this. And then ji is she with dakuten on top. That is he. Okay, let's try that one more time. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll take that. I'm gonna save this. I think I'm gonna stop here, and I definitely can't quite say that I can read, or sorry, that I can write hiragana, but I think we've made considerable progress. And so my goal for tomorrow is to, or for the next live stream at least, to continue practicing writing hiragana. And so I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the live stream or the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps support the channel, enabling me to continue making live streams like this, and also to keep working on the app that you're looking at, the website, lingocommand.com, as well as the kind of like matching iOS app that comes with it. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and see y'all next time. Thank you.